start streaming. You're going to see it go live here in a second. 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2. All right, I'm live. So yeah, that's how we set up the streaming portion of that. No one's going to be watching this stream anyway. So it's, it is what it is. So they missed the whole audio portion of this, which is fine. Maybe I'll start with the streaming next time. If this was a Teradek video encoder, or what's another? I don't think the Pearls do. Pearl video encoder. I know they do video recorders, but I don't know if they do video encoders. Yeah, they do. Okay, so it's the same. The Piffin Pearl Nano Recorder. There's a bunch of different brands. Like I said, with AV, you have several brands to choose from. They all do things just slightly differently, but let's say menu. Maybe it'll.
Why does every outdoor brand think I want to look?
Yeah, why does every outdoor brand box us in to this LL Bean aesthetic? Let's see. SD card. Initial network setup. Let's see what the guy says about that.
Find the unit's IP address. Connect your Pearl to power and then to your network using an Ethernet cable and power on the unit. Now you can find the unit's IP address using the front screen. The navigation will vary slightly depending on the model. On Pearl Mini and Pearl 2, tap the gear icon in the lower right and then tap System Status. On Pearl Nano, use the arrow keys to navigate to System and then to Network. Contact your network administrator to verify your network setup requirements. More information on how to configure network settings can be found in the Pearl User Guide. To access the web UI and...
Yeah, that's a good point. So your IT folks at the Omni, they are, gonna want to set up a VLAN for you so that you're not crossing traffic with the hotel guests. You want as clean of a network signal to your internet service provider as possible. This is really important. This is where buffering and latency and all that stuff come into play, jitter, etc. Basically, if there is a traffic jam on your way out of the building, then your stream's not going to look great. Yeah, that is what it is.
Enter the Pearl's IP address into your browser. By default, the username is admin with a blank or empty password. The web UI gives you full administrative control over all the settings.
So just like OBS, the
web UI gives you...
The GUI is going to be where you enter all of your parameters. I don't see... I see network, but I don't see stream. Maybe we'll see that later in the video.
Doing so will allow you to update your firmware remotely using the cloud interface.
Yeah, I saw streaming destination.
But going forward, doing so will allow you to update your firmware remotely using the cloud interface. And there we go. Your Pearl is now ready to capture, stream, and record. If you have any questions about Pearl systems, check out our support page or reach out to us.
Okay. But either way, wherever you set up either YouTube's event, Facebook Live, etc., they're all going to give you that same kind of format. You're going to get the stream URL and you're going to get the stream key. You're going to enter that into your encoder or OBS or vMix, and you're going to start the stream that way. Once it's streaming, sometimes on the either Facebook or YouTube, you're going to have to start the stream manually from the web, from your account. So it might receive it, and then you have to start it from there. And it really depends on how you have it setup. If you have audio sync problems, that's generally going to be because your video is going through some processing, and your audio is going to be direct. In that case, you might be, 30 milliseconds off or something like this. So you're going to want to adjust that. And if you can, it really depends on the device you're using. In OBS, you can do this pretty simply. Here's your sync offset. So you can just add 30 milliseconds to catch up with your video. So you see that my audio is not synced up with my video right now. So I'll go ahead and return that back to 0. Next. The fundamentals of recording. So recording audio, to me, it's all about getting the highest resolution that you can possibly get. And this is why gain staging is so important. This is why you do not want to record at a low level and then fix it in post, okay? You want to get your level staged correctly from start to finish. Your gain should be up so that your raw signal is up, so that you're not boosting essentially the circuits and the electronics in your mixer. You only want to be boosting the signal from your microphone. It's really important because there's this thing called the ground floor, which is like this static electrons that are firing around your mixer, that it's causing low-level noise that you will end up boosting to compensate. So the highest resolution is going to be high gain before distortion, your fader up to 0, and your aux up to 0, or above or below. Whatever gets the audio signal to your recorder metering at that level we were talking about before, somewhere between -20 and -10. That's your sweet spot. If you can go up to -5 without clipping, that's even better. If you want to put a limiter at -6 with a 10-to-1 ratio, so that you can pull the gain up as high as you can without distortion, that's even better. So those are little tips and tricks, but honestly, the main thing is use headphones. Always, if you're mixing a show and you have money on the line, you want to be monitoring your records the whole time. If you're at the console mixing, you want to have headphones in. You want to have that headphone jack in your recorder listening the entire time. You want to mix for the room, but honestly, if there's 100 people in the room, but then 10,000 people on the web, which one do you want to be listening to? Which one's more important? These are good questions to ask yourself. Maybe having one ear with the headphones in, one ear with the headphones off, so you hear what's in both. You can always take the headphones off and put them back on if you need to, but you should be mixing for the recording if you can. If it sounds good in the recording, it probably sounds good in the room also. For video, recording video with audio, always watch your meters. Make sure that your audio is being recorded. If you can listen to the video recorder as you're going, that's great. video formats, MP4, H.264. Here's a good thing to think about, okay? This is a low resolution, 720 by 480. Ew. H.264, 1080. ProRes. Let's say you're doing uncompressed. There's so many different flavors here, right? H.264 1080 that's good, okay? If you want to record 4K, God bless you. If you have the space, let's say you're doing 1080 at 60 frames per second. Look how much space an hour meeting requires, okay? In this case, you want a 2 terabyte card at least. What's the biggest? This is look how expensive this is, okay? What was it? 100. How much is 100 gigabytes? Maybe it's 120. These are all going to be SD cards. So 128 SD card. Okay, so they're getting pretty cheap. But yeah, just like consider the size of that file. Consider where it's going, where its final resting place is, or if folks are going to be editing that later. I don't know if you've ever dropped a 120 gigabyte file on your hard drive to record or to edit, but it's a massive file. So consider that. Maybe consider dropping it down to 30 frames per second to give you more space. Let's say you have an 8-hour meeting. Okay, that's an 8-hour meeting at 60 frames per second. These are all things you want to consider. How much space do I have? And then also, are you uploading this to the cloud, or are you handing this drive off to the client at the end of the show? These are all things to consider. I use this. This is the Blackmagic Video Assist. It does SDI in, SDI out, HDMI in, HDMI out. Records to SD card. It's a good piece. What were the Aja recorders that they used to use? The Key Pros. The Hyperdecks. Yeah, I just don't know. Yeah, I guess these were really good, but I feel like they're not. I feel like they're old. Oh, because this is 12G. Okay, so these are the new Key Pros that are doing 4K and Pro Ultra 4K recording. 4 4K recordings. That's 12G. Is that what it is? Single channel 4K recording. 4-channel recording in HD. So 4 1080 images or 1 4K image. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, I guess. But yeah, I mean, that's like, video files are massive. Video assists are much cheaper. Yeah, I got mine for. Definitely got mine for less than this. 595. I think I'm pretty sure I only paid like 400 for mine. But yeah, definitely something to consider. I almost should have gotten like a. The video system has other utility as well. Like you can, it's good if it's battery. These are battery powered, so you can like check signal, check cables and stuff like that. You can put it in line somewhere and just record a certain feed. You know, you can do like, they're kind of more portable. You can put them on your camera tripod and use it as a what do you call it? A reference screen or whichever. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. I'm probably at the end of my time. I got through this much faster than I did last time. Last time was about an hour and a half, but this leaves 20 minutes for questions, I guess, or any specifics that you want to go over. So with that, thank you very much. I'm going to go to my hold screen.